All right, guys, so yesterday I put out a video reacting to Charlie Kirk's death. If you didn't see it, you can go ahead and watch it in full. I'm not going to rephrase the whole thing, but basically it was my reaction, which was sadness and trying to say that we should all be sad about that. Again, I'm not going to repeat the whole thing, but that was basically my video, and I put out some other thoughts about why, regardless of your beliefs, you should be sad, kind of reacting to a lot of the hate that I saw online. Today, I wanted to put out another video, not in the same line of thinking, but sharing a little bit of my personal testimony of why Charlie Kirk has actually inspired me. Now, this is not meant to be a political video either. I've never really posted political videos. What it is meant to be is an embodiment of my own, I guess, perspective on why Charlie Kirk inspired me. I did see him speak in person at Oregon State. I listened to him. And what I saw there, and I've also seen other videos that kind of embodied the same thing that I witnessed in person, but it tends to be a bit more powerful when you've seen or heard something in person. So I was there at Oregon State University. This was probably last October before the election when he was there with Turning Point USA. And what I saw was honestly kind of remarkable. I was at that time listening to a lot of different things, trying to listen to both sides, doing the whole thing, research. You want to be well versed if you're going to go out and vote, because the election is important. So I was listening to a lot of stuff from both sides. And what I saw was remarkable, because what I saw was a man that was being insulted over and over by students at Oregon State University. And again, I've seen this in videos as well. There's a lot of people at a lot of different universities from the extreme left, and a lot of students that would hurl insults at Charlie Kirk. And he would respond with his logic, but he would also respond with kindness, honestly. Maybe they didn't agree with the perspectives that he put out, just as it was clear that he didn't agree with their beliefs or their perspectives. The difference is in how he conducted his debates. They would hurl insults at him. I saw it in person. They were literally yelling and swearing at him, and he was using kind words. He would say things like, "Jesus loves you," which, I guess if they're not a Christian, maybe that insulted them. But that was his version of affirming his own beliefs. He was a Christian. He is a Christian. And he believes in God. He believes in Jesus. And he believes that Jesus loves them. And as he was getting insulted over and over again, I'm not saying that's the only thing he said. That was one example of something that I heard. But he showed compassion. He showed that he could be kind. He was patient. He was, I'm not even going to say that I agreed with everything that he said. But the point is that he was able to speak to them with kindness. He was able to be calm and collected while they were just hurling insults at him. I mean, they would run out of things to debate and they would get angry. And I saw it several times in person. Regardless of whether I agree or disagree with what he said politically, it's pretty powerful to see someone that is courageous enough to have these debates in places where he knows that he's going to be met with hostility. Obviously, I don't think any of us would think that he would have wanted to be assassinated, but he probably always knew that it was a possibility. Unfortunately, it ended up happening. But one thing that we do know is that he knew that he was going to be met with great hostility. And that's what I saw in person. He was literally met with great hostility in Corvallis, Oregon. I literally witnessed it with several different students in a row that were not showing kindness to him. They were literally hurling insults at him. They were yelling at him. They were swearing at him. And he was speaking to them in a kind manner. I don't know who's listening to this, so you guys may or may not agree with any of his beliefs. But in my opinion, he was kind to them, and it's because of the way that he would speak to them. I'm not saying that he would let them win the debate. In my opinion, a lot of the times he didn't let them win, at least from what I heard. But he didn't resolve to hurling insults at them. He did not lash out at them in anger. That was the other side doing that to him. And I guess I'm going to finish my little video here by saying that he's courageous. Even if I disagreed with all of his points, I'm not saying I did. I think for most people that I listen to, I'm going to agree and disagree on different things. But the point is, he was absolutely courageous. He knew that he was going into the war zone against these people that were going to blow up on him every time they were going to get angry. I could even take this to the TikTok videos that I would see, because I would listen to different TikTok videos, and I would frequently see a lot of these heavily influenced TikTok creators on the extreme left side. I'm not going to name them, but if you're on TikTok, you've probably seen them. And they would frequently lash out at not just Charlie Kirk, but at people on the right side. And they would frequently, insult, mock, or dehumanize, hurl insults. So I would see that over and over again. And when I'd listen to Charlie Kirk, he didn't do that. He would just speak to people in a calm manner. And yeah, I have respect for that. And I believe that he's courageous for what he did and the fact that he was willing to stand up for his beliefs. So I do believe that whether you agree with him or not, he embodied character that I believe that we should have as humans. And in that way, he inspired me. And I want to say that I'm going to continue to pray for him and his family, because it's really unbelievably sad what happened. And I guess I've been thinking about it a lot. I ended up seeing that video of him. I didn't want to see it. It kind of just popped up yesterday. I don't even go on Twitter or X very frequently, but I popped it up because I was, stressed out hearing about the news, and it was one of the first things that popped up. And I can't unsee that. It was truly horrific. And I'm going to reiterate some of the stuff that I put out in yesterday's video, but we should all be mad that that happened. We should all be sad that that happened. Nobody should be celebrating that. And I guess I'm going to end the video there, but I just hope you guys can all show compassion to people that you come across in life, whether it is online, in person, or both, because it's important. It is very important to show compassion. So regardless of your belief systems, I encourage you to do that.